Order, and before the beginning of the public hearing, I just want to remind the public that might be out there or that are here a few things that you probably know, but I just want to make sure. The Board of County Commissioners does not have any control over the taxes levied and the budgets of the school board, the Water Management District, or any of the 7 cities of Seminole County. Questions regarding your property assessed valuation should be addressed to the property appraiser. The Board of County Commissioners has limited authority over the budgets of the constitutional officers of the county, including the clerk of the court, property appraiser, the sheriff, the supervisor of elections, and the tax collector. The clerk of the circuit court's budget is reviewed and approved pursuant to the Florida statutes, with the exception of the board records and finance, which is submitted to the Board of County Commissioners. The property appraiser and tax collector's budget are reviewed and approved by the State Department of Revenue. The sheriff has the right to appeal any decision regarding his budget to the governor and cabinet. And ladies and gentlemen, at last number, that's about 65% of the budget we just covered. Now, for the approximate 35% that we control, this is a public hearing for the purpose of hearing the public comments regarding the tentatively adopted millage rates and budget, amending the budget as desired by the board, and adopting the final millage rate and the county budget for fiscal year 21-22 as required by Florida law. The budget hearing and Seminole County's intent to adopt the final millage rates and budget for fiscal year 2022 was advertised in the Orlando Sentinel newspaper on Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. The presentation of the final budget. At this time, I request that the county manager and the staff discuss the final millage rates and budget for the fiscal year 21-22. Laura, you are on.
Thank you. Good evening. Lori Bailey Brown, Chief Financial Officer and Resource Management Director for Seminole County Board of County Commissioners. Tonight we are holding our final public hearing to adopt the fiscal year 21-22 millage rates and budget in accordance with Florida statutes. The first public hearing to adopt the tentative millage rates and budget was held on September 15th, 2021. Tonight is our second public hearing to adopt the final millage rates and budget for the fiscal year 21-22. Tonight's meeting was advertised in accordance with Florida statutes on Thursday, September 23rd in the Orlando Sentinel. I would like to thank the Office of Management and Budget, led by Tim Jex, and all the departments of Seminole County for their efforts in this budget season. I would also like to thank the constitutional officers for their cooperation and support to help bring this budget to you for adoption. The fiscal year 21-22 budget presented for adoption is based on the millage rate shown here. As you can see, the rates are equal to the rates of the current year. The rollback rate is the rate that will provide the same ad valorem tax revenue as levied in the prior year, excluding new construction and community redevelopment districts. Each millage rate is approximately 4% above the rollback rate. We will read each of the proposed rates and the rollback rates and the percentage increase over the rollback rates later in this meeting. Property values increased approximately 5.4%, with 1.4% attributable to new construction. Here are the increases in taxable property values for each taxing authority, detailing the percentage increase related to new construction. The final millage rates will generate a combined $265.3 million in FY22, including an additional $9 million for the general fund. Fire fund ad valorem revenue will increase by $3.5 million, and the unincorporated road district property tax revenue will increase by $105,000 in FY22, for a total of $12.6 million in new ad valorem revenue countywide. The additional revenue is used to fund increases in public safety, mass transit, road maintenance, and new positions. The total tentative budget is $878,750,674, which is the same as presented at the first public hearing. Details of revenues and expenditures for all funds can be found on pages 25 through 49 of the public hearing document. The general fund includes sub-funds, including renewal and replacement, and it represents 36% of the total budget at $318 million. Restricted funds include transportation, fire services, grants, capital, and debt service funds, and they represent 35% of the total budget at $307 million. Enterprise funds, including the county's water, sewer, and solid waste activities, represent 22% of the total budget at $196 million, and internal service funds, such as our property liability, workers' comp, and health insurance funds, represent 7% at $58 million. The total expenditure budget of $596.5 million, that's the total expenditure budget, and it excludes reserves and transfers. It is detailed here by service area and shows public safety and physical environment and transportation are 75% of the total expenditure budget. Public safety is fire and the sheriff's budgets. Physical environment is water, utilities, and solid waste. Transportation includes road construction, drainage, and traffic engineering. Thank you.
Any questions? Thank you very much. We're going to move into public hearing, and I have two yellow sheets. First, Mr. Bill Hyde. Mr. John Horvath, you're on deck. While he's coming up, I did want to welcome our constitutional officer and sheriff, Dennis Lima, in the back. Nice to have you here, Sheriff. Go right ahead, please, Bill.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Bill Hyde. I live at 2379 Audley Street in Oviedo. Thanks for having us here tonight. I guess I come back every year, pretty much the same thing. Just because the millage is the same doesn't mean the taxes are the same. We just heard 4% is what more, you're going to get more from us. Well, we don't get more than that. We don't get 4%. Yes, property taxes have increased, property values have increased. That means nothing to seniors who have lived in their homes for 20, 30, 40 years. We're basically running out the clock. We can't and will not sell. Our kids are going to maybe take advantage of it, but it means nothing to us. Our taxes are going up faster than our income. Everybody knows how much Social Security went up last year, and it wasn't 4%. We're getting farther and farther behind every year. I realize that the county, thankfully gives some exemptions to seniors, and it does help. But every year, it keeps getting farther and farther skewed. So we're getting behind, and you guys are taking advantage of us, is what it looks like. Second thing I'd like to bring up is a fire fee. This one really gets under my saddle. The fire fee is really disingenuous. The fire fee is a way that the government you can say that you're holding a millage rate at a certain rate by not combining that fire fee into the millage. You say it's because of a service. Okay, I got that. Where's the law enforcement service fee? There's no fee for that. It's just for the fire fee. That should be combined. That should never have been, I was around in the 90s when that started going on. It never should have happened then. It shouldn't be happening now. Sometime you guys need to be honest about this, put the fire fee and the millage so that we can have more people out here talking about why our millage is going up, which is what they really need to be talking about. That's really all I have on that. I know this is not directly related to you guys, but I know Chairman Constantine will be at the delegation meeting tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I put in a request to speak, but it was ignored by the chairman. Thank you all very much.
And
Just for the record, the chairman wasn't this chairman. It was
No.
chairman of the legislative delegation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we understand. I was going to say that, too. It wasn't me, it was the delegation chairman. Thank you very much, Bill.
I figured if I did it, then it wouldn't look like you were
Appreciate it.
doing
Thank you. And Bill, I'm not, doing back and forth dialogue. I just want to remind you, one of the reasons the fire fee is separate is because it doesn't affect the entire county. It only affects us, Altamont Springs, Winter Springs, Castleberry, because those are the ones that are part of the consolidated fire district, which the other cities do it themselves. So if we charge that in the fee, in the ad valorem, others would be paying for fire when they're already paying for it out of their own city ad valorem. Just wanted to make you I think you understand that, but I just wanted it clear to everybody. Thank you very much. John, you are up, sir. Always welcome to have you here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. John Horvath, 1004 Bradford Drive, Winter Park, Florida. That's the Seminole County part with a Winter Park address. Couple quick things. The population of Seminole County is right at 480,000. I saw when you did your impact feast a couple weeks ago, you're expecting another 100,000 people in this county in 20 years. That's over 580,000 people. So you need to be prepared for those people and also have services for us that have been here, especially me, who's born and raised here and watched it grow. So I noticed going through the budget, some of the departments have added little or no people. I was talking to Grant Malloy, who I've known for a long time. He's having to add a couple people because of things happening internally within his department, which is fine. At certain points, you reach a point where you do have to add personnel. And I know some of the other departments haven't had any in 2 or 3 years, and it's because of the computers and other services that are available. Now, as it was said earlier, the sheriff, I noticed that I didn't see where he was getting any more deputies for the coming year. Is there a reason for that? I would think, even though the crime rate's down, you still have more area to cover, time-consuming reports and services. Now let's go to the fire department. I see where you're getting 23 new firefighters. I assume that's for the new Station 39 coming up in the west side of the county for the personnel. And then I noticed you got a grant for 30 from a SAFER grant. Now, I understand those grants, it's a 3-year deal, and I hope that those personnel that are hired under that, in 3 years, they'll be picked up by the county, because I wouldn't like to be hired and know in 3 years my job is out because of no SAFER grant. Now, let's talk about the fire stations. Station 23, I'm very familiar with. That's my station that protects me. But I also was a volunteer fireman back then when the fire departments were volunteers. And I remember when that was built back in the late 60s, early 70s. And I think Grant can remember some of that because he's lived out in that area all his life, just like me. And of the original 5 stations, when the county assumed service in '74, that's the only one that hasn't been either updated or improved. I see 13. You could probably put the old 13 and the new 13's a bay. That's how big 13 is. And 43 or 42 out in Chuliota. You would think you only need an engine and rescue, but out there you need a woods truck, a tanker, because of lack of hydrants in some areas, and you got a lot of Econ River and lakes out there. So there's equipment that's sitting out, and it needs to be protected and save us some money.
And an airboat.
And an airboat. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, John. Any questions of John? Thank you very much. Is there anyone else here from the public that wishes to speak? Anyone else? Then I'm going to close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman,
Open it to discussion of the board.
I move a motion to adopt fiscal year 21-22 general countywide ad valorem tax rate of 4.8751 mils.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the fiscal year 2021-22 unincorporated road district MSTU ad valorem tax rate of 0.1107 mils.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the fiscal year 21-22 Fire District MSTU ad valorem tax rate of 2.7649 mils.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Is there a discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. The staff will now read the established millage rates for the public record.
The general county millage of 4.8751 mils is 4.01% above the rollback rate of 4.6870 mils. The fire rescue MSTU millage of 2.7649 mils is 3.89% above the rollback rate of 2.6613 mils. The unincorporated road MSTU millage of 0.1107 mils is 4.04% above the rollback rate of 0.1064 mils. The tentative aggregate millage rate for all BCC taxing districts is 6.8999 mils, which is 3.66% increase over the current aggregate rollback rate of 6.6564 mils.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions? Seeing none, I'll now entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 21-22 millage levy resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded. Discussion?
Mr. Chairman, just for clarification, do we have to read the motion?
Wouldn't hurt to read it.
It's fine. Would the motioner make the...
Sure. Motion to adopt the millage levy resolution for fiscal year 21-22, inclusive of millage rates announced.
And the seconder agrees. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. I will now entertain a the chairman will entertain, I will entertain a motion to approve the fiscal year 21-22 budget resolution.
Mr. Chairman, the motion to adopt the budget resolution for fiscal year 2021-2022.
Second.
Motion seconded. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes.
Wait, do we-
Just looking over at the attorney. Everything okay?
Good to go.
Everything's good? Are you looking?
Well, did we have a recusal?
We do have a recusal.
Oh.
And did you, Commissioner Herr, would you announce if there is a relevant recusal at this time?
I will. So I will be recusing myself from the vote on the budget. And as you saw, I did not recuse myself from the vote on the millage. The recusal for the vote on the budget is as a result of us not splitting out the sheriff's budget, which I have a commitment from staff that next year that will be done. The sheriff is a client of my employer, and the proper paperwork has been filed.
Thank you very much. Commissioner, do we need to make that or move that again and vote again?
I would
think that would be
appreciate it.
appropriate. I will.
Sure.
So we're going to pull back. We're doing a motion
Mr. Chairman?
on the budget resolution for 21-22.
On the adoption of the millage levy resolution, motion to adopt the millage levy resolution for fiscal year 21-22, inclusive of the millage rates announced.
Second.
And there's a motion and a second. No discussion other than the recusal that you've all heard from Commissioner Herr.
Wasn't the one that she recused herself
Motion.
from?
Motion number 6.
That's the one we're on.
No, it's 9. It's the budget.
It's 9.
It's 9.
Which would be motion 6.
Item number 9, motion
but-
number
Oh,
6.
number 9, I got you.
Whatever.
Okay.
That was,
Yeah, we're on the right one.
I think that's Delari's.
Well,
made
maybe the
motion.
person recusing should say whether we're on the right one or not.
So I think it's number 9, and I'll confirm with the attorney, it's number 9, it's the budget adoption. I will also say that I do not know who made the motion. I know it was not me.
No,
I made the
that's right, I think it was
motion.
Delari.
I'll remake the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Motion to adopt the budget resolution for fiscal year 2021-2022.
Second.
And I will recuse.
All right. Is that everybody okay on, okay. Then we have a motion, a second, and we have the recusal. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And
Recuse.
motion passes 4 with 1 recusal. Is there any further discussion or debate about the budget or discussion for any of the good of the order?
I have something.
Commissioner.
We have a commissioner who had a very momentous birthday this last week, and I don't think it should go unnoticed that Commissioner Herr had a rather important birthday on Saturday. So if everyone would wish Commissioner Herr a happy birthday, I think it would be lovely.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, I'm happy to celebrate every year and every decade, and would be happy to announce my age if you wanted me to.
Was this your
Thank you very
30th
much.
birthday? Your 30th birthday, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right.
Yeah, mine was in the paper today, so if that makes you feel any better.
Your age,
Yes.
Hey, if we've learned nothing else this year other than the fact that every day is a gift and we should celebrate every day, let
Amen.
alone your birthdays and those of your families. So thank you.
Congratulations, Commissioner. And with that, and seeing no other discussion or debate, the meeting is adjourned.